Hey guys, it's Jim. Thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 filters in Luminar that work every single time. I use them on every photo. They work every time. You can't go wrong with these 5 filters. Let's get started. Okay, this first one is Accent AI, and then Tone, and then Clarity, and then got to have some color. So Color Balance and Adjustable Gradient. These are the 5 I use all the time. And literally, as I said, they work in every photo. So let me just show you. Accent AI is just brilliant. I mean, just that alone makes the photo better. I love Tone. I can add contrast. I can adjust smart tone. I can take the highlights down. I can adjust the exposure. I mean, the photo already has come a long way, right? And I haven't even done anything. I've only done 2 filters. Clarity. I love clarity. It's a great way to add a little bit more depth and a little bit of pop to the photo. And then color balance. One of my personal favorites. I use it all the time. If you saw my last video where I talked about the curves filter and the color balance filter, you know that it's really powerful. So it just gives you so much great control over the tones and the colors in your photo. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm just making some sort of minor adjustments, just kind of messing around, trying to get a little bit more of that sunset look in the sky. And there's the before and the after. You can see I give it a little bit of warmth, which is nice. And speaking of warmth, adjustable gradient is filter number 5. You can change exposure and contrast in the top or the bottom of the photo. So you can set orientation and you can go move that around. You can tilt it if you want to. You can collapse this gradient zone or expand it. I'd probably just pretty much leave it about where it is. But then you can adjust the exposure. And so let's say I want to take the exposure down in the sky a little bit and I want to add a little bit of contrast, a little bit of warmth and vibrance. And boom, I just did that in the sky. Now on the bottom, I want to take the exposure down a little bit, increase the contrast, maybe a little bit of vibrance and warmth as well. And just this filter alone, you can see I went from that to that real quick and easy. And that's the 5 filters right there. So there's the before, there's the after. Completely different photo, very vibrant. Now, to be clear, that's not the entire thing that I would do to this photo. I would probably add a layer for denoise or actually just a filter. I'd probably use HSL to take down a little bit of color. Like the grass is a little too orange for my taste. So in these 5 filters, I'm not saying, hey, don't use anything else. I'm just saying these are 5 amazing filters. So let me get another photo and walk you through another edit with just these 5. I'll be right back. Okay, thanks for tuning back in. Here we go. I'm going to grab these 5 filters again, stick them on this photo, and then just do a quick edit just to show you what I'm talking about. So, completely different photo. That was a landscape shot, late afternoon prior to sunset. This is a cityscape shot at sunrise. So, I'm going to go ahead and just get to work here as I'm sort of chatting with you. And again, I'm just making some sort of minor edits and just kind of bumping up some of the tones and stuff, and just trying to get to a look that I would like in this photo. So give me a second as I do that. I'm sort of massaging these. And the truth is, I don't have a particular plan for this photo. I'm just kind of jacking around and trying to see what all I can come up with. And I'm kind of liking it so far. So I'm going to add a little bit of vibrance in that sky, maybe a little bit of warmth. And the bottom, I'm going to bring up that exposure value, add a little contrast, a little vibrance, a little warmth. And that's pretty saturated. It's hard, frankly, to sit here and run through these filters while I'm talking to you and also pay attention to my photo. But let me show you the before and the after. Massive difference. Again, probably a little oversaturated. There's a couple of spots in this guy. So I'm not saying, hey, use 5 and don't use anything else, because there's 50 filters. So you can literally spend, all day getting in there and experimenting and jacking around with these filters. And frankly, it's a hell of a lot of fun. I love to do it. But if you want a quick start and make an impact quickly on a photo, these are 5 that I go to every time, and I absolutely love them. So one more time, the before and the after, and then a split screen if you want to see how big of a difference we made. Now, again, I might want to add saturation of vibrance, take that down a little bit. I would probably maybe do maybe a vignette here, maybe bring up a little bit of structure in the concrete. So again, I'm not saying one and done, don't use anything else. I'm just saying these 5 are pretty damn amazing. So that's that. Let me show you one more photo. 1 second. Okay, thanks. I'm back. Another shot from Prague. Actually shot in the exact same morning as that other one. Completely different part of town. But I'm just going to go in here and sort of mess around with this thing and see what I can come up with, because I think I can come up with something pretty cool. And I'm doing it pretty quick. And I'm just choosing it because it's kind of different than the other photos in its own way. Oh, a little too much of that, Jim. But let's see what we can come up with here. Let's see. Highlights. I want to warm up the highlights a little bit. Maybe something like that. In the top, I want to add, take the exposure down, maybe a little more vibrance and warmth. And the bottom, I want to take the exposure up, add a little contrast, add a little bit of taking that color down. I think I might go back over here to the midtones and go a little bit more like that, and maybe a little bit more in that direction. So I'm not liking the reds too much. Okay, so here we go again. In fact, I would now come in with Smart Tone, and that's the thing is I recommend, by the way, I'm not saying you gotta hurry either. I'm in a hurry because I'm doing this as a video, but I definitely make filter adjustments and then go on, do something else, and then come back and say, that kind of looks like crud, and I go back and fix it. So in this case, I thought it was a little bit too dark, so I came back here, added a little Smart Tone. I might lift the shadows a ton, that sort of thing. And in fact, I think I might actually warm up the photo a little bit. I think I like it warmer as opposed to cooler, so I might come back over here and do that. Again, the options are limitless. The variety is just unlimited completely because of all the filters in Luminar. But my point is you can take 5 filters and on a photo like this go from, that to that in pretty much no time at all, right? Just the time that I took to talk to you and walk through it, I made a big difference in the photo. Now, you may not like what I did to the photo, and that's okay. Also not my point. I'm not trying to say, hey, look at how great my photo is, because I'm obviously kind of hauling ass here. But 5 great filters, well worth getting to know. And if you're not using them, I highly recommend them. I'm sure everybody's using Accent AI and Clarity. You may not be using Tone. If you're not, get in there. It's awesome. Color balance, it's amazing. Absolutely adore that filter. And adjustable gradient, one of my favorites for sure. Definitely worth spending some time on. So 5 filters that I think have a huge impact and that work on every single photo every time in Luminar 2018. Hope it was helpful. Thank you for watching. I got a lot more videos coming, so keep coming back. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Like the video, leave a comment. Feel free to share with your friends. Thanks for watching, my friends, and I'll see you next time, and adios.